So let's go ahead and begin with Google Books. Now, as you guys can see here, the interface is definitely probably the most basic of all three apps, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So as you can see here up top, we do have a link to go ahead and get more ebooks, which I'll show you guys in a second, as well as an information tab. However, the meat and potatoes of all of these apps is definitely going to be the reading experience. So I'll go ahead and just jump into Pride and Prejudice here. You see here the loading times are pretty snappy. And once it's loaded up, I'll go ahead and show you guys the interface. So, as you can see here, it defaults to full screen view, where you can go ahead and just view the whole thing. Now, if I go ahead and just rotate into landscape, you will see that it's really not going to be able to do that. And that is a minor downside, as of course the other applications do support landscape viewing. However, personally, not the hugest deal for me, but it could be for you. So as you can see here, the formatting is not the best in the Google Books application. It's not awful. As you can see here, it's definitely very readable. You can go ahead and simply just scroll through. It does have that nice kind of page turn, so you can kind of like iBooks, kind of a little bit of eye candy, although it's not exactly very useful. But the thing is that the formatting just doesn't seem to be quite right on this book as well as several other books. And you can see here everything's kind of a little cramped together, and it's just not laid out the best. So actually I'll go ahead and just show you. To pull up the menu, you just tap on the screen, and it pulls everything out. And then you have a few options. So we can go ahead and hit the information. We can see here when it was purchased, all that kind of good stuff. And we also go ahead and search for things. So if we want to go ahead and search for Jane, there we go. You can see that we can scroll through here and jump to whatever particular part we want. So that's a nice little feature. Works pretty nicely. Now here's the major thing, all the settings. So in the settings, you can do quite a few things. You can go ahead and switch from day to nighttime, so you can mostly just high contrast or not. And we also go ahead and change the typeface. So if you want, for example, Helvetica or whatever, you can absolutely change it however you like. You can change the text size as well as the line height. I'll go ahead and actually show you the line height, because that's probably one of the most important things. And then you have flowing text, or you want scanned pages, and you also can have the 3D page turns. So I'll go ahead and show you guys. It takes just a second. This is the way I like to read them. It looks a little bit better with the bigger line height, but still it's just not quite up to the par of, say, the iBooks or the Kindles. So as far as the reading experience, it's not by any means awful. You can go ahead, let's see here, and just hold on whatever we like, and you can see here it's going to zoom in, so that's definitely a nice thing if we have an issue of reading or whatever. But overall, it's just not quite as full featured. So let's actually go ahead and jump right out here, and let's go ahead and go into the eBook store. Now, as with the Kindle app, you don't actually have the eBook store. It's not built into the app. You actually have to go ahead and load up Safari. However, not a huge deal. So once you go ahead and load it up, you'll find that it's just a pretty basic thing. You can go ahead and browse categories. Take a look at some of the the featured books. So I can go ahead and just take a look here. Just pick something random here. As you can see here, the interface is not too bad. We can go ahead and go back to categories or home. We read a little bit of information about it. We can see the description, reviews. We can go ahead and get a sample, which is something that all three books, they do allow you to go ahead and get samples. We can go ahead and purchase it. However, that's about it. There's not a whole lot to to take a look at in the ebook store. It's pretty basic. So anyway, guys, while I think that this is a pretty nice thing, really, there's just not that much here for you if you're really into books. The library is pretty decent, but not amazing. The app is okay, but again, not amazing. And while you can go ahead and view your purchased ebooks on both the iPhone, the iPod Touch, and the iPad, as well as Android phones, I believe, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I will have an annotation on the screen, as well as on your PC and Mac via the web. So it's got a decent amount of variety of how you can view the books, but still I think that the other two do it a little bit better. So really I have to recommend a pass against the Google eBook Store.